and thank you for being here at the launch of Innovation Ohio. My name is Janetta King, and I'm the president of Innovation Ohio. Innovation Ohio is a new, nonpartisan think tank focused on timely policy analysis and thoughtful policy development. We are committed to a robust public policy debate and believe the best public policy is advanced when there is a full dialogue and all views are heard and thoughtfully considered, which is why we are forming now, to ensure that a progressive point of view is represented at a time when many leaders in the state are championing a more conservative agenda. You have in front of you our mission statement, information about who we are, what we believe, and what you can expect from us. We are leaders in business, academia, politics, public service, who are dedicated to innovative policies that move Ohio ahead without leaving some of its people behind. And I want to say that again because that really is the value that we all here at Innovation Ohio share. We share the value and belief that innovative public policy can move Ohio ahead without leaving some of its people behind. We believe progressive public policies are necessary to sustain economic growth, to expand opportunity for all Ohioans, and to ensure that the benefits of a resurgent economy are not restricted to those at the top of the income ladder. We believe that the private and public sectors should not and need not be enemies, but that business and government can, should, and must be partners in helping Ohio succeed. And by resisting short-term thinking and enacting responsible, innovative, and fiscally sound policy, we believe leaders can help create a climate and condition necessary to build a future for Ohio that is worthy of its past. So what will Innovation Ohio do? Innovation Ohio will advocate and advance public policies, especially in the areas of state budget, jobs, education, healthcare, and energy. Policies that strengthen the middle class, protect the less advantaged, equalize opportunity, and provide business with the tools that they need to innovate, to compete, and to create well-paying and long-term jobs. Innovation Ohio will also provide rapid response policy analysis and commentary to the media, to opinion leaders, to elected officials, stakeholders, and the general public to ensure that ill-advised or counterproductive policy proposals originating elsewhere do not go unchallenged, and also to validate sound policy proposals. We will deploy an army of policy experts, academics, practitioners into the debate so that the progressive voice is heard in the middle class and the middle class values and their interests are represented. We are not a partisan organization. In fact, our staff and board and associates will be comprised of people of all parties who are united in the belief that through innovative public policy and practical problem solving, again, we can in fact move Ohio forward while not leaving some of our people behind. We are looking forward to the busy months that we all have ahead of us, and to the months here in the near future where very important public policy is going to be debated. We hope that you will use us as a resource, that you will pick up the phone and call us for a progressive point of view on those policies. And in just a few moments, we will be unveiling our first policy paper. And that will give you a feel for the type of work that we will be doing at Innovation Ohio. But before we get to the release of our first policy paper, I do want to introduce Dale Butland and ask him to come up here with me. Many of you know Dale. He's a veteran media strategist, obviously, and Innovation Ohio is very pleased that Dale will be serving as our communications director. So we will take questions. Dale and I will try to answer anything that you'd like to ask, and then Dale will take us into the second part of the press conference, which will include the release of the report that we talked about. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and open it up, take a few questions about Innovation Ohio, and then we'll do a second question and answer period for the report.
Could you give us an idea of where your funding is coming from?
As you know, the 501c3 and 50C law is structured to provide for anonymity. And we have been talking with some donors who very much value that anonymity, and is actually why they feel comfortable giving to a 501c3 and C4. We will not be engaging in electioneering and campaigning. We will not be running ads. We will be doing more of the public education. Therefore, we feel like we should respect the wishes and requests of the donors and keep that anonymity intact.
You worked for Governor Strickland, and how would you respond to those who are going to, when we get back to our offices, tell us that this is just the Democrats, you know, putting their point forth now that they don't have power?
Sure. That's right, I did work for Governor Strickland, but those up here today also worked for many other folks. I think that you'll see a very diverse board and diverse associates. We are going to be working with academics and practitioners, so this certainly isn't about one person. But what this is about is public policy, and we feel like there's a value for this think tank that really builds on the experience that Dale has had over many years, that I have had, that folks like former Representative Steve Dyer has had, and that there is value in bringing those types of folks together and really being a public policy hub for the academics that may have a different point of view than some of the things that are being discussed, for practitioners and others. So it is about the policy debate, and really harnessing all of the experience of the people that share the values that we talked about, that this think tank is really going to be forwarding.
And let me just add to that by saying that you will never hear, sorry, let me just add one thought, and that is that you will never hear us talking about Democrats and Republicans. Now, we are an avowedly and unapologetically progressive organization. So we will talk about that. We will talk about conservative points of view, which I suppose is the obverse side of progressivism. But this is not about partisan politics, partisan being defined as Democrat, Republican.
What are you going to do that's different than is already being done by Policy Matters Ohio, Center for Community Solutions, Progress Ohio? What's different about it?
We would like to occupy a space that really is valuable on the policy front, and then also the rapid response front. I think that there are very good organizations like the one you mentioned doing a lot of good policy work. What we really want to do is take the policy work and analysis and bring it into the everyday debate. As bills are being introduced, that there's that rapid first response. And we believe that we have the experience here with this think tank to be able to do that because of some of the policy that we were all recently involved in. So it really is a combination of rapid response. And then the other thing I would point out is maybe something that would be different is we want to harness lots of thought leaders in addition to the staff here at Innovation Ohio. We are going to be a small staff, but we are going to be forming a network of many folks that will be able to be resources to you and to the other audiences.
How, if you respect the anonymity of your the people who support you, how are we to know that the policies you advocate don't benefit them rather than the public if we don't know where the money's coming from? For example, Policy Matters Ohio is progressive. We know that money comes from unions and foundations, but we don't know who's providing money for you, so how do we know you're not just promoting someone's or some entity's their policies?
That is why we were very thoughtful about the mission statement and what we believe. And we'd like to be held accountable to that. We put that out there as Innovation Ohio's values, and we are going to be analyzing policy through that lens. And so we want to be true to that, and as people are associating with Innovation Ohio, we're making it very clear that that is our North Star and that is our guiding principle.
And I would add one other thought, and that is our primary constituency is the middle class. And I don't think that's anyone's definition of a special interest.
Now, let me ask you this question though. You said that you feel like you need to be rapid response on these issues and stuff. Can you tell me or cite a specific example of an issue or a time when you folks feel like you've been behind the curve because you haven't been fast enough on the draw?
Who hasn't been fast enough on the draw?
That your point of view, the people representing your point of view, have not been fast enough on the draw.
I can't cite a specific time other than we know looking forward that there's going to be a lot debated in this budget. There's going to be a lot released here next week in the state of the state. And we would like to work with all of those organizations who do this type of work and be another voice. So I don't think that there's one particular instance other than looking forward. We know that there will be many opportunities for those who currently hold office to be able to put out their thoughts, and we want to be a voice to put out a progressive point of view.
Do you think the Republicans were so successful in the last election cycle because there wasn't a group like Innovation Ohio in place?
I certainly think there is value in building this intellectual progressive structure, if you will. I think we've seen on the national level conservatives be very successful in building that intellectual infrastructure. I think that the progressives are catching up on the national level, and we would like to play that role here at the state level. And as you know, there are conservative think tanks in the state level that I think folks would argue are very effective, and we'd like to be that from the progressive point of view.